One of the most beautiful cameras right here is on your screen. It's of the Flatirons in Boulder, Colorado. A big scientific hub in Colorado. A lot of agencies within NOAA working there in the National Weather Service office too. It's the 4th of July weekend. As you can see, the Boulder Flatiron cam panning around the beautiful downtown area. A lot of people out. Hey, we always love talking science and always love introducing you to scientists. Right now we have Dr. Steve Brown. He's up in Boulder, Colorado. He's a NOAA scientist at the NOAA's Chemical Sciences Laboratory. So Dr. Brown, this is my first time chatting with you, and I always like to have the icebreaker as, what do you do for work?
Thanks, Steve. It's real nice to meet you, and thanks for the opportunity to come and talk to your audience. And I do a lot of work trying to understand the fundamental chemical sciences that govern what's in the atmosphere. And so that's relevant to a lot of current issues today, like air quality and climate. And we do a lot of work building instruments, getting them out in the atmosphere, flying them around in airplanes, and learning what we can learn about what affects the air that people breathe.
So the atmosphere, kind of like a layered cake. Are there any certain layers that you're looking at specifically of the atmosphere?
We mostly work in the lower atmosphere, with the part of the atmosphere we call the troposphere, that is from the surface up to about 10 kilometers altitude, depending on exactly where you are on the globe. But we also do some work in the next layer up, which is called the stratosphere, where, for example, you've got the ozone layer that protects us from those harsh ultraviolet rays from the sun.
And some amazing things happening through, and we're always down here in the troposphere, but we have to remember there's some other layers up there. So it is the 4th of July time frame. We have fireworks ongoing tonight, tomorrow night, and it's a Monday night. I want to just kind of get your take on, what are some of the differences and some of the colors that we see in these fireworks?
Yeah, fireworks are pretty interesting, and that's where I kind of lean a little bit on my background as a chemist before I became an atmospheric scientist to tell you a little bit about what's in fireworks. But fireworks are made of a lot of different compounds. The colors that you actually see are typically coming from emissions from metals that are built into those fireworks. So, for example, sodium is a very common one that gives you a bright orange color. You're probably familiar with that color from having seen street lights. Some street lights have sodium emission in them and give you that orange color that's characteristic of sodium. Barium, for example, is a compound or an element that is used to make green colors in fireworks. Strontium is closely related to barium, that gives you red. And a lot of those blue colors purple colors come from copper. And you can make different combinations of all those colors using different combinations of those elements to give you pretty much whatever color you want.
A lot of times after fireworks, a lot of that leftover smoke and everything that just kind of gathers can reduce some air quality. What are some resources people can check that air quality in their neighborhood?
Yeah, absolutely. People are concerned with that. The U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, and here in Colorado, the Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment maintain websites where you can check the air quality indices wherever you happen to live. And that gives you a good measure of whether those fireworks have degraded the air quality in your local area or caused any issues for sensitive groups who might be concerned about breathing the aftermath of some of those 4th of July celebrations.
Okay, this has been an interesting conversation. Thank you so much for your time. I've got to ask you, what is behind you on the whiteboard?
It's just some scribblings that I use to talk with my research group about, just working out designs for different instruments or sensitivity calculations for understanding various aspects of the kinds of measurements that we're going to make.
All right, pretty cool. It's reminding me of studying meteorology, too. Just a lot of scribbled down on there and pretty heavy stuff. So,
yeah.
Thank you so much, Dr. Brown. Pleasure to talk to you today from Boulder, Colorado.